Hola amigos de Match 99.3, hola amigos de iHeartRadio, ¿cómo están? Soy Miguel Miranda y estoy muy contento de estar por acá con ustedes, como siempre ya saben, apareciendo para presentarles música nueva, proyectos que vale la pena conocer, etcétera. El día de hoy vamos a aterrizar con nuestra querida Neriah. Si ustedes no han tenido la oportunidad de conocerla, es una artista multifacética que ha tenido la oportunidad de trabajar sobre varias líneas del pop y el día de hoy tiene un nuevo single en puerta, nuevo material y queremos que ustedes la conozcan, que sepan acerca de su trabajo y de cómo lo hace de increíble. Neriah, how you doing? Welcome to Match
Good.
FM. Welcome to iHeartRadio.
Thank you. It is so good to be here.
We're talking about your work, about your career, about your talent. You're so great, and we
You.
love listening to your work. And I don't know. First of all, can you introduce yourself for the people that want to know about you?
Yes. Hi, I am Neriah, and I'm an artist. I write all of my own music and I do pop, and I love it.
What can you tell us about the beginning of your work? You start maybe at, I don't know, 5, 6 years
Yes.
old.
I wrote my first song. Well, my parents say I started to sing before I started to talk, so that was definitely earlier. But wrote my first song when I was 5, right after my parents got divorced. And I think that was for me my first kind of thing in life that was very emotional. And I realized that music was this therapeutic lane that I could turn to and be able to deal with my emotions. Like, I'm very sensitive. I'm a Pisces. I cry a lot. So music really helps me. But ever since then, I mean, I've been writing my whole life, and I'm so grateful have been doing it now professionally for a few years and starting releasing my own music because before they were just songs on paper or in my head. And yeah, my first song, but that was when I was 5, and now I'm 24. So it's been quite the journey.
What can you tell us about the skills learned of the beginning of your career?
I think, to be honest, I think the thing that helped me the most was writing as much as you can. I mean, there was a time period in my life, especially during COVID, where I was writing 3 songs a day, and some would be horrible, which no one will ever hear in my life. And some were good, and some were cool, and some parts were cool, and I would go back and rewrite. So, I think like anything, you have to work hard and you have to keep writing and keep trying, and whatever you want to do, practice does make perfect. And the more you're able to have a skill and practice that craft, I think it turns into a lot more talent.
And what can you tell us about this? I don't know how to say this creative process behind writing your own songs at
Yeah.
your 20s. What's
Mhm.
the difference between
Your
make
20s
songs
are
at
definitely.
your
Yes, I think your 20s, my 20s were a lot harder. It's like
yeah.
you're figuring out real life, and obviously, you're no longer just worried about your friends being mad at you as you are when you're young, and you have all these real life experiences. And I definitely wasn't falling in love or getting my heart broken at 5 years old. So I think by what I was writing about was a lot different, but yeah, I think it's just, growing up and experiencing life and writing about it and realizing that in some way we're all going through the same things, which is so crazy and beautiful at the same time. And, I journal a lot. And I think my creative process with that, I'll bring my journal into a lot of sessions and kind of read it. And I'm like, that's how you're feeling. Like, we're going to write this. And, one of my favorite songs, that's kind of how it had came about. So I think it's really just about, being in touch with what you're feeling as a person and your emotions. And I think for me, that's always come very easily. I've always been an open book. So being able to just be in the studio and hear some chords or songs and be like, oh, this is how I'm feeling. Like, are we happy or sad today? And the song kind of writes itself from there.
Yeah, you have a big storytelling work on your songs. I have to say
Thank you.
it. Now, a a lot of sound on your work. You have maybe this kind of pop punk songs, and you had the piano songs, and very nostalgic and all this stuff. But now you have I don't know how to say this, the new era of your work.
Yeah, I mean, I think we went for a very 80s pop lover girl phase. That's kind of how we're kind of explaining it now. I think, I was I think for me, when I'm writing down and I'm working on a new project, it's so important for me to learn a new skill and to evolve and try something new and try something that might scare me and freak me out, because I think that's what's part of, making music and making it exciting for someone who's maybe listened to you for a few years to listen to something that's new. So I was very inspired by 80s and, Robin and Whitney Houston and all of these like icons, and listening to their music. And then, I was also looking at, who do I love now? It's like, I love Sabrina Carpenter. I love Billy. I love Chappell Roan. I think there's so many people. So being able to just find some new sounds and be inspired by it. And I was like, you know what? I just put a 24-song album about the same boy that was all ballads, and I've done the pop punk. So I was like, what can we do and keep changing and trying something new? So definitely a lot of new characters in this project, a lot more up tempo stuff, which I haven't done as much, which has been so much fun, and a lot more acting, I feel like, within how I deliver the vocals, and love songs, which was so different for me. I was so scared. I was like, that last album, I went through one of the worst breakups of my life, and I really just like felt a piece of myself like really just go away. I changed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never letting someone treat me like that again. And I fell in love, and I've never been happier. And I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, well, everyone wants me to be sad so I can write sad songs. And then I was like, okay, let me just try writing a happy song. And First Time was the first one we wrote. And I was like, this feels right. This feels different and cool. And of course, it was scary at first, but I love doing things that are scary, and I love trying new things. So it's been an absolute blast. And it's, I think, my favorite music I've ever worked on, which is so exciting to be able to say.
I have to say this because is the perfect song for a driving weather,
Yes.
Yeah, it's a nice song to be on the highway, taking a trip with your friends. I don't know how to say this, or maybe with your partner or your
Mhm.
lover, or
Mhm.
whatever it is. So
Yeah.
how was your work of songwriting with Sarah Davis and Brandon Cole?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was so much fun. We went, I mean, I adore them. They're so talented. And, those songs would not be there without them. And we actually did a little writing trip in Joshua Tree, and we just had the best time ever. And we wrote them, and we knew automatically that those two were going to be so special. And there's actually an acoustic version of Driving Weather coming out this Friday, and I'm filming a music video tomorrow. So I don't know if anyone even knows that yet. So I'm very excited. A lot of surprises, and I think, it feels just like such a fun summer song, and to be able to listen to it and play it over and over again. And it's one of my favorite songs ever. I think everything about that song just feels right, and it felt like the new version of Neriah that I didn't even know existed until these songs. So it has been such a pleasure, and I'm so thankful for all my collaborators. I think, my last album, pretty much wrote by myself with, my producer. And I think being able to evolve so much and learn from, people like Sarah and Brandon, who are so incredible and so talented, has been such an honor. And I love collaborating. I think, that's something I will always want to do. And I think those two, obviously will continue to help with a lot more, because I adore both of them.
And I want to say that maybe it's part of the journey of being an artist. Maybe meet some new people and make this kind of crossover with your
Yeah.
mind, your world, and the other mind world.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I think something that's so important for me is like, as an artist, no matter who I am in the room in, I'm always going to be telling them what I want, telling them what I want the song to be about, and telling them what feels like me or something I would say, because it's really important for me to have that involvement. But at the same time, I feel like the typical Neriah song is a ballad on the piano, and I could write 100 of those if I needed to. But being able to bring other people in and other people's worlds and their minds and experiences, it's a whole different song. And I think that was really important. And especially, the the styles of it. I mean, for a lot of these songs, you know, Brandon and Sarah, I actually had them, like, once we wrote it, I had them lay down the demos so I could learn it with them singing it, because the phrasing for so many of these songs are so different than what I'm used to. You know, a lot of it's a lot more upbeat, and I'm used to, you know, slow ballads. So it was such a cool experience, and I definitely learned so much from this album. So I'm so grateful for that.
And what can you tell us about your new work? Do you have a new album?
We're working on a new
Yeah,
album right
I know
now.
that.
We have a lot of singles. We have a single called Lucky. We have a single called Don't Let Go. We have a single called Red Flags. Don't Let Go is next. I'm so excited. I think right now I'm in a place where we're gonna be doing singles for a little bit until the album is ready. We're actually working on, you know, a lot of touring and shows, and we have something in the works with Mexico. So, you know, I'm excited. I really want to come out and meet all the noodles and see all the fans and just thank them for all the support, because I wouldn't be where I am without them. And it's been such a crazy year, and looking at the numbers and looking at, you know, how much support and how much this community is growing is like such a dream. And I'm so thankful for every single one of them. So I definitely want to dedicate a lot of next year to being able to go personally, come in person and say thank you and let everyone know how much I appreciate them.
Yeah, I hope to see you soon here in Mexico City. Please, when you're in the city, come to the radio station and talk with
Of
us. And
course.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, we want it. We really want it. And
Of course.
how I want to know something about the way that you deal with the number pressure of the
Yeah.
music
You know,
platforms and all this stuff. How do you feel with it?
it's such a I feel like I have a very different outlook on it. I think for me, I went to college for marketing, so I've been taught so much to study numbers and see analytics and really like study, you know, the waves about them. And I think the first part of my career when I really started going viral, TikTok was in such a different place where I would get millions of views every week, every day. Like there would just be going, and I was also posting 30 times a day. And that was really, I was working so hard. I was posting 30 times a day, filming constantly. And I got to a place where I was like, this is amazing. This is great. And I'm so thankful for it. But I would rather now focus on what really feels like Neriah and what feels like this new project, and be able to rely on that. So I had a very big crossover change where I started posting a lot less. And obviously, you're going to see your numbers go up and you're going to see them go down. But I think what I tell myself at the end of the day is I don't care. And I've had so many times where I would be so sad and I'd feel so pressured. But I was like, I've gotten to a place now where I'm like, I am so in love with the music I'm making. And I'm so proud of myself that as long as I know that, and every piece of content that I put out, whether it gets 500 views or 500,000, that's what matters. Like, I have to realize that and be like, I am making art, and people need to be able to see that, and they're not going to love it if I don't love it. So being able to hold back on that and stop worrying about numbers, and you know, I'm like, great, you know, if it goes up it goes down, if it goes down it goes up. I think, you know, it's just like a song, anything can change that, any one video, and you're going to have those momentums. I mean, you know, you go up and you go down. And I think I've experienced that a lot in my career. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? These songs are so good. People are gonna love them when they hear them. So I try to
I
remind myself a lot.
Yeah, I love your confidence because you're very good.
Thank
You're
you. Thank you so much.
we love your work, and and we expect that the work that you do every day have the response that we do
Of
expect
course.
from the people,
Yeah. Thank
because
you.
you're so good on your
Thank you
work.
so much.
So, and finally, we want to know about it's a personal question about your makeup and about look and feel of your videos, because all the people on your comments and stuff on your
Yes.
Instagram say, please, we need a makeup.
I know. It's so funny. I need to film one. I think, you know, it's so funny. I mean, if you could look right now, like all of my stuff, like I always have it everywhere. I mean, I bedazzle like everything. I always have glitter and sparkles. And I think it's just about like being able to express yourself and have fun. I mean, one day I might this is like probably barely any makeup for me. And like some days I'll look like this, and some days I'll have glitter and sparkles all over my face, and I'll go out to get a coffee with it. I think for me, it really started with the bedazzling. I mean, I just came out, or I'm coming out with pimple patches that are bedazzled because I was like, oh my gosh, you would never know. And I wear them all the time. But I think it's been a thing where, it started in the mornings. I would wake up, and if I was ever feeling sad or I was feeling overwhelmed, I would just get these like little bedazzles and I would put them on my face, and literally would feel better. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. And I love doing makeup. I love trying new things. I used to do YouTube, but I hear everyone. I hear you guys. I will do a makeup video. I promise. I have some on YouTube, but I'll do some more, and because I know you guys really want to see that.
Yeah, it's part of your trademark as an artist, and we
For
love
sure.
it. So
Thank
we want
you.
to know about it. So
Of course.
uh, something else that you want to add to tell to the Mexican audience of your
Yeah.
work, or something else?
Anything else? What am I excited about? Definitely excited about this music video and the acoustic version for Driving Weather. I would love to hear what you guys think. And also, if you guys want to join the community, my relationship with my fans is so important. If you DM me Noodle on Instagram, I will add you to my close friends. And I respond to every single message. You will see. Might take me a while, but I get there. So if you want to join the community, DM me Noodle, comment it on a photo, and yeah, you can message me anytime. My DMs are always open.
Thank you so much, Neriah. Congratulations for your new work. Congratulations for this new era of your career. Congratulations
Thank
for
you.
Driving Weather. Hope to see you soon here in Mexico City. We love your
Yeah.
music, and hope to see you soon singing on the radio station. Please.
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you so much for having me, and I will definitely come stop by when I come to Mexico.
Thank you so much. Have a good time, and hope to see you soon.
You too. Bye.
Bye, Neriah. Ahí estuvo Neriah. Escuchen su música en todas las plataformas. Recuerden escucharla también en la programación de Match y iHeartRadio. Soy Miguel Miranda. Cuídense mucho y hasta la próxima. Cambio y fuera.